Hey guys, this is Tyforce Reacts, and well, I'm here to, I'm just here to make a review, like kind of a look back on basically my whole experience just watching the original Naruto series and just kind of like see what, and like kind of like track back to when I decided to watch Naruto and then, ultimately make reactions to it, I guess. Um, there were a few hiccups in the beginning, quite a few. But yeah, I made them before. I made reactions before, these reactions before I even made a schedule, which it was a terrible idea in hindsight. So yeah, but yeah, let's start at the very beginning, shall we? So I had known about Naruto, previously, before, as I was getting into anime, I can't remember what my gateway anime was. I know I watched a bunch of anime, in the beginning when I first started getting into it, and I know I watched the first arc of SAO, Sword Art Online, and boy was that a mistake. I know I watched Kill la Kill. I watched a bit of the original Full Metal Alchemist, but yeah, and oh yeah, and of course I had watched Pokemon as a kid, but at the same time, does that really count? Let's see, what else did I watch? And I guess I did watch Bakugan as a kid too, though. But like I said, does that really count? I think the first anime I ever actually got into was probably Dragon Ball Z. like Simply because there were, it was back in the day when YouTube wasn't quite so strict with its rules. You could upload pretty much entire episodes of Dragon Ball Z up on YouTube, and that's how I pretty much binged the entire show from the first episode of Dragon Ball Z to basically the end of the Cell, the Android, Cell games stuff. And man, it was an experience. But then I had known about Naruto. It was kind of impossible not to hear about it. But I'd never really I watched the first 2 episodes. I didn't really interest me at first, so I just kind of quit. And by now my taste in anime was kind of branching out, and I eventually got into a show called Bleach. You may know of that. and I happen to love it to pieces. So yeah, and then came along a show called Death Battle. I know it's weird to bring them up in this show, but yeah, I remember the episode I was watching. I was watching Thor versus Wonder Woman, and I still have the reaction, those reactions on my YouTube channel. And then when they did Next Time on Death Battle, and I heard Getsuga Tensho, I just got so freaking hyped. And then I saw it was Naruto he was facing off against. I'm like, oh, well, if that's not a sign, I should get back to watching Naruto. Yeah, okay, yeah, I did react to the first 2 episodes of Naruto. Well, react to the first 2 episodes of Naruto beforehand, but then like I said, I just quit. And then I just kind of went, you know what? Meh. And then I watched the episode, Ichigo versus Naruto, and when Naruto won, here's the thing, I normally Death Battle has this weird grip on me, if it introduces me to a character I haven't seen in a long time, I immediately get invested in them again, and I find a brand new appreciation for them, and I just love them forever now. That's really happened. That's happened a few times. One notable instance was their death battle of Gundam Epion versus the White Tiger Zord, and thanks to that, I got back into Power Rangers, and it was actually. And turns out Power Rangers is actually a surprisingly smart show when it wants to be. So yeah, then but yeah, back to Naruto. So I decided to get back into Naruto, and I continued reacting to it, and it was an experience. I can officially say now that I am a fan of Naruto. I'm a Naruto fan. It's a good show. It's a great show. Do I love it as much as other shows? No, I'm not a fanatic. I'm a fan, not a fanatic. There's a difference. If you had asked me which one do you prefer, Naruto or Bleach, I'd say Bleach in a heartbeat. But yeah, then you know, and even today, if you ask me, hey, do you want to watch Naruto or Black Clover? I choose Black Clover in a heartbeat. I'm not joking on that. So, but yeah, okay, so now the entire reason I'm making this video, because now that I'm done with the original Naruto, I decided to, take a look back, see how I got here, and then what I did when I got here. So, excuse me, sorry. Excuse me? So I'm deciding to go through this like one arc at a time. And I'm by the way, I'm just ad-libbing this. Okay, so forgive me for any tangents I may go on, like the one I just went on for 5 whole minutes. So, okay, so alright, so let's go with the first arc, the introduction arc, which is episodes 1 to 5. And okay, so in this arc we met Naruto, and we in the very first episode we meet Naruto. We get a good grasp on his character. Because while he is loud, annoying, a prankster, all these other things, he does it all because he wants attention. He's like that child who, when he doesn't get attention, he just screams louder until people have no choice but to look at him. And to him, negative attention is still better than no attention at all. And it's kind of heartwarming to see that that his teacher Haruka at least has a soft spot for him when it seems like everyone else doesn't. Except for, I think maybe Hinata showed a little bit of shyness when Naruto was trying his clones for the first time in the show. And I can't remember if I can't remember if she thought anything. I'm gonna have to watch the first episode again. But yeah, other than that one little maybe thought from Hinata, Haruka was the main attention. Was the guy who clearly cared about Naruto more than almost everyone else, pretty much everyone else in the entire village, including the Hokage. But not that the Hokage didn't care about Naruto. He did. He just didn't have time for him. Haruka, on the other hand, made time for Naruto, and it meant the world to Naruto. So when Mizuki, the other teacher, tricked Naruto, and Haruka came to his rescue, and Naruto learned the truth about why he's hated in the village, because he's the container for the Nine Tails. And Naruto kind of breaks. It's just kind of sad, and then Haruka helps snaps him out of it, and it's just heartwarming. Just Naruto needed that reminder that he's not the Nine Tails. He's not the demon. He's the jailer. He should be looked at as a hero, not as the demon. And thanks to that, Naruto manages to, use Shadow Clone Jutsu, which will become pretty much a staple move throughout the entire show. And yeah, it beats up Mizuki, becomes a ninja, and so yeah. And then next episode he meets Konohamaru, the Hokage's grandson. Shenanigans occur. Then the next episode we finally get a look into a bit what his classmates are like. Specifically, Sasuke and Sakura. Excuse me, sorry, I just ate. So, Sasuke, he's an arrogant jerk. And we kind of sympathize with Naruto because Sasuke's got the fan club. He's pretty much everything Naruto wants to be. and vying and has Sakura's attention and all that. And I'm just remembering that interaction, Naruto and Sasuke accidentally kiss. It was funny. So yeah, then so it turns out, and so Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura form Team 7 with their Jonin sensei, Kakashi Hatake. And Kakashi, I really want to say Kakashi's my favorite character in the show. Yeah, I think Kakashi's my favorite character so far. That may change down the line because I haven't even gone through half of all of Naruto because I still got like 500 episodes to go. So, but yeah, Kakashi's a fan favorite. I learned why Kakashi was a fan favorite, and yeah, and so Kakashi ends up ultimately passing because they discovered that while they may not get along, teamwork goes quite a long way. So yeah, then okay, so let's get into the next arc, which is the Land of Waves arc. So after like taking dozens of D rank missions, which are the lowest level missions, Naruto just decides to just complain to the Hokage, basically. So about finally getting a rank up in mission. So the Hokage grants them a C rank mission where they have to I like I said, I'm ad-libbing this as I go, so forgive me. So they have to protect this bridge builder named Tazuna, and to take him back to the Land of Waves safely. May encounter some bandits along the way, but as long as he gets there safely, whatever. But along the way, they soon discover that the mission is more than it seems, because Tazuna's village could not afford any higher-ranked missions. So, yeah, the mission's more... kind of becomes a B rank because of the introduction of ninjas, and... But then I suppose the mission becomes an A rank when a missing ninja named at Kakashi's level named Zabuza Momochi arrives and tries to do the job himself. He ultimately fails due to a good amount of teamwork from Naruto and Sasuke, and Kakashi pretty much doing the brunt of the main attacks. But still, Kakashi wouldn't have won without Naruto and Sasuke. And yeah, but then we meet the hunter ninja Haku, who saves Zabuza unbeknownst to the heroes at that point, and so they continue on their journey through the Land of Waves, and they meet Tazuna's daughter and grandson, Inari, I think his name is, and Inari's mom's name is Tsunami, I think it is, but I haven't gone through the first few arcs in a while, but yeah, then Inari's a bit of a brat at the beginning, but then you assume why he's a brat, and it becomes understandable, but at the same time, you can't help but feel a bit frustrated with the kid because he keeps complaining that no one really understands his pain right to Naruto's face. But yeah, eventually Inari learns this lesson. So, and then we finally get to the final battle on the bridge where Sasuke and Naruto face off against Haku, and Kakashi continues facing off against Zabuza, and eventually Haku's kind of true feelings, I guess, are revealed, where basically it's a he because Haku looks so much like a girl, guys. Okay, so Haku really his family was murdered, pretty much. His father by Haku's own hand, and his mother by his father's hand, because Keki Genkai bloodline limits are kind of a big no-no in the Mist Village, and yeah, so Haku was kind of forced to live on his own until Zabuza found him, and Zabuza is pretty much all he has left in his life, and after Haku supposedly kills Sasuke, Naruto goes beast mode, dipping his fingers into the chakra pool of the Nine Tails, and manages to beat Haku pretty handily with it. But then Haku senses Zabuza's in danger and sacrifices his own life to save Zabuza. And yeah, but then Zabuza, after a bit of talking to from Naruto, realizes really kind of the dam breaks. because he did truly care about Haku, and so chooses to sacrifice his own life to help out the heroes when the actual villain of the arc, Gato, shows up with a bunch of thugs. And so Zabuza basically kills some of the thugs and kills Gato in the end, and the rest of the thugs are taken out by Inari and the villagers. So yeah, and the arc ends with our heroes going back home and the bridge being named the Great Naruto Bridge. Oh boy, we're 15 minutes in. I'm not even I'm not even a third of the way through this whole thing. So yeah, so people grew up the introduction in the Land of Waves arcs. So I'm just gonna group them up into this mini review here. It's a great introduction to the series, and the Land of Waves arc it's still one of my favorites so far. But then again, there's not really too much competition, as most of the other competition is filler. So, oh man, wait till I get to the filler. So yeah, maybe I should have saved this video. Maybe I should have just made this video like multiple parts so I can do it one other day. But what I'm just gonna make this one big video and hope I can get this. But yeah, these two arcs are great. Land of Waves is still my favorite. Like episode 19 still guts me every time. And I remember the first time I watched it, I cried. I really did. And I only wish I had gotten it on camera. Because you know what happened? When I was reacting to the episode and I was crying in front of the camera, for some reason my old phone decided, nope, this video doesn't exist anymore, and just deleted it. So I had to make an apology video and just a regular review of the episode, which wasn't nearly as entertaining because I was crying. Okay. But yeah. It was just so great way to start the series. And then we get to, I believe, my favorite arc in the show so far, and that's the Chunin exams arc. And it's where we meet some people from the Sand Village, Kankuro, Tamari, and Gaara. And Gaara's basically the main threat. He's, well, kinda, sort of, like, he's the main threat in a way that Zabuza was the main threat in the Land of Waves. He may not be the main villain, but he's the main threat. So yeah, so in order to go up from being Genin to Chunin, they need to take the Chunin exams, which takes place around, I think, every 6 months. So, and before the exams begin, they meet back like the Hidden Leaf 12 just meet. Well, the Hidden Leaf 9, I guess, not because we haven't met the remaining 3 of the 12 yet. They meet back up, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and make up Team 7. Then Hinata, Kiba, and Shino make up Team 8, and then Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji make up Team 10. And it's in this arc we meet Team. I don't think they have an official name. I'm just gonna call them Team Guy, because it's made up of Rock Lee, Neji, Hyuga, and Tenten. So Lee shows up, beats up Sasuke single-handedly, because he wanted to prove that hard work can be just regular, just innate talent, and Neji's just a prick. So yeah, then so they pass, and they meet a guy named Kabuto, and Kabuto's a bit more than he seems. Not at first, but we soon learn. Not quite yet, but we soon learn. So the first portion of the exam happens without a hitch. They go all their way, and we're shown why Hinata's best girl. Yes, Hinata's best girl. No one will take that away from me. So she's adorable and I love her. So yeah, Then we get to the second portion of the exams, and we're introduced to my favorite side character of all time, Anko Mitarashi. She is amazing, and I love her, and I'm so glad she got a filler arc dedicated to like her backstory. So, well, sort of, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So, okay, so the second portion of the exam, they have to go through the forest of death and survive for a few days and collect like 2 scrolls and make it to like the center and blah blah blah. But along the way, Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura run into a grass ninja, a ninja from the village in the grass, I believe, and this ninja, for some reason, she's got an obsession with Sasuke to an unhealthy degree. Not that Sakura's obsession with Sasuke was not unhealthy. But yeah, then it's revealed that this grass ninja isn't who she appears to be. And it turns out she is a he, kinda. She is a he because it's a disguise. The person they were fighting to try and stay alive, basically, was Orochimaru, aka like one of the strongest characters, like, and possibly the strongest character that we've seen in the show up to that point, and other than maybe the Hokage, but that's a solid maybe because we'll soon see why. So then, okay, so Orochimaru manages to bite down on Sasuke's neck and give him like this curse seal, which it screws up Sasuke's sleep. It screws him up. Like he's knocked out for a day or so, and like shenanigans occur, but the main thing you gotta know is like this curse mark clearly alters Sasuke's personality a bit, like to a more hateful and just vengeance-filled Sasuke. Just pretty much the worst qualities about Sasuke come to the surface when he seems to activate the seal. So, so now that basically all of the Hidden Leaf 12 have passed the exam, and now we have to do, but because so many people pass the second portion of the exam, they have to do a preliminary before they can get to the third portion of the exam, which is a tournament, because tournament arc, yes. So yeah, let's see. Gonna try to go through. Okay, so I'm gonna try to go through these one by one. So yeah, okay, so okay, so okay, Naruto goes against Kiba and wins not easily, but he does win. Let's see. Okay, Sasuke fights his opponent and wins, and manages to avoid using the curse seal, and Kakashi takes him away to seal it. Then Sakura and Ino fight to a draw, and then let's see, and then I'm not going through these in order. I'm going by way of like remembrance and saving the best for last. Okay, Choji goes against a sound ninja guy, Dosu I think his name is, but Choji gets knocked out. I'm going by order of importance to me. So yeah, then Ten versus Tamari. Tamari shows off her might and just completely obliterates Ten. Then let's see, Kanguro wins his fight pretty easily. Let's see, okay, oh yeah, Shino wins his fight, and it's amazing, and Shino became one of my favorite side characters. Let's see, Shikamaru faced off against the sound ninja girl and wins his pretty handily because he's a freaking genius apparently. Then okay, now Hinata versus Neji. Basically we we basically learn all about the Hyuga clan politics and what Hinata's gone through her entire life, and what Ned kind of not. We haven't really gotten to what Neji has been through, but Hinata hints at it. So, and during the fight, like, Hinata manages to get Neji just so riled up at the mere mention of him suffering that he almost kills her, and Naruto gets really mad about this, and vows it with Hinata's blood on his hands, like he vows to win, and it's just an awesome moment. And then we get to basically the main reason this arc is loved so, Gaara versus Rock Lee, where, yeah, it's the best fight in the series. Let's not try to deny it. Oh man, I'm not gonna get into it, but let me put it this way: the arc is 3 episodes long for a reason. Okay, then we get to basically what I call the second part of the arc of the Chunin exam arc, where Naruto is training for the third portion of the exams, which are a month away. Kakashi's training Sasuke and can't train someone else. So Naruto eventually meets an old pervert who he ends up calling Pervy Sage, aka Jiraiya the Gallant, aka the author of a smutty book series that Kakashi has been reading all throughout the series. Oh boy, Jiraiya's great. But yeah, he starts training under Jiraiya, learns to somewhat control the Nine-Tails chakra, except not real. Hey, we'll get there later, I guess. But then he also learns how to summon them. He also signs like a Toad contract where he can like summon Toads to fight with him, and it's pretty cool. And then now we get to the third, and like we spent a long time training, seeing Naruto train with Jiraiya, and funnily enough, this is where a lot of people just stop watching the series, apparently, because that's where I stopped for a while. Like, I remember before I made the schedule proper, I made a schedule proper, that's where I stopped, like, somewhere where, in between where, Jiraiya's training Naruto. I just stopped somewhere in there. Apparently it's, yeah, it's pretty commonplace. My friend Zach said that's where a few of his friends have stopped. So yeah, but now we get to the third part of the arc, which is the official tournament arc. So due to Sasuke being late because Kakashi has probably infected him, they got lost on the road of life and all that. So yeah, then so Naruto fights Neji, so Naruto fights Neji, and like we finally learn pretty much what Neji's been through in his life, and yeah, it does have a bit of sympathy to it, but it doesn't really matter. Neji's still doing terrible things, and Naruto pretty much beats some sense into him. And and Naruto wins, like, much to the shock of pretty much everybody, because Neji's a genius, he's a prodigy, and the prankster loud idiot just beat him. So then we got Tamari versus Shikamaru, and we get the introduction to that ship. And it's amazing. Shikamaru technically won, except he ran out of chakra at the end, and he forfeited, despite having Tamari right where he wanted her. But yeah, while Tamari did move on, everyone knew that Shikamaru pretty much won that fight, and what do you know, Shikamaru was actually the only one who got promoted to Chunin because of it. Man, probably shouldn't have done this right after I ate. But yeah, then let's see, what other opponents? Okay, another fight was Kankuro versus Shino, but Kankuro pretty much surrendered immediately. And then let's see, what else is there? Okay, I think we can finally get to Sasuke versus versus Gaara. And now that Sasuke's finally arrived. So it seems like Sasuke actually has Gaara on the ropes since he's increased his speed and learned Chidori. And, bust through Gaara's defense and made Gaara bleed for the first time in Gaara's life. And Gaara pretty much goes off the rails. And then Kabuto, who's actually secretly Orochimaru's right-hand man, activates a Genjutsu, which pretty much puts everyone in the audience to sleep except for a few ninja who recognize it as a Genjutsu and get out of it. And then, the Kazekage, the leader of the Sand Village, looks at the Hokage as the Genjutsu starts, activates, and he says words that chilled me to the bone when I heard them. He said, "Now, shall we begin?" And thus the start of the Konoha Crush arc, where Sand Village and the Sound Village, and the Sound Village is apparently run by Orochimaru, attack the Hidden Leaf Village, and it's revealed that Orochimaru had killed the Kazekage and was pretending to be the Kazekage to trick the entire Sand Village into attacking the Leaf Village. So the Sand siblings pretty much take Gaara to a safer location. Sasuke goes after them under orders from Kakashi, Naruto, Sakura, Shikamaru, and one of and one of Kakashi's summoned dogs, Pakun, I think his name is. He's great. Go after him along with Shino, but Shino tagged along without them knowing. So Shikamaru manages to hold off a few ninja and let Naruto and Sakura go on ahead. And then when Kankuro stopped to try and stop them, Shino caught up and wanted the fight with Kankuro. And so, Naruto, Sakura, and Pakun went on. And the fight between Gaara and Sasuke was kind of not going well. Naruto kind of arrived pretty much in the nick of time. And then Gaara fully transformed into the one-tailed Shukaku, another tailed beast, kind of like the Nine Tails, except maybe weaker. I'm only guessing because one tail. It only makes sense that a Nine Tails would be stronger. So Naruto manages to summon Gamabunta, the giant chief toad, pretty much, and they manage to beat Shukaku and Gaara, and Naruto, again Naruto beats a lesson into Gaara pretty much with the whole friends are the reason I got this far, the typical friendship speech stuff. Then and so after that, let's see here. Then okay. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. While all this was going on, Orochimaru was fighting the Hokage, and Orochimaru managed to summon the first two Hokage in a reanimation jutsu, and I gotta admit, the Hokage put up quite the fight. He managed to seal away the two Hokage before him, the two Hokage that trained him nonetheless. Jesus. Alright, so, and was trying to seal away Orochimaru as well, but Orochimaru was still kind of putting up a lot of resistance because he doesn't want his soul being sucked in by the death god. So so pretty much the Hokage made a compromise. Since he couldn't kill Orochimaru, he'd take away Orochimaru's ability to make jutsu ever again, and managed to take away any sort of hope that Orochimaru would ever be able to use his arms. But due to this usage of the seal, the Reaper Death Seal, I think it was the same kind of seal that the fourth Hokage had used to put the Nine Tails into Naruto. The Hokage ended up dying because of it, and Orochimaru got away, but really it was a bittersweet victory for him. Even though he managed to kill the Hokage, he not only couldn't destroy the Leaf Village, he also lost the ability to use jutsu. So yeah, then the next arc is all about looking for a new Hokage. They initially want Jiraiya to do it, but Jiraiya's like, no, can't do it. I'd be terrible at the job. And to be fair, he might be. So, but Jiraiya knows the perfect candidate. He and I have very different definitions on perfect candidate, but whatever. So he and Naruto go off to look for Tsunade, who was originally Jiraiya's teammate as well as Orochimaru's teammate, I guess, but Tsunade, after a life of tragedy, pretty much, left the Leaf Village to mourn for years, decades even on end. So, yeah. But while that's going on, two people enter the Leaf Village by the names of Itachi Uchiha and Kisame Hoshigaki. I believe that's the last name, at least, I think. So Itachi is Sasuke's older brother, and the guy who killed the entire Uchiha clan, and thus why Sasuke's on a vengeance-filled quest to kill Itachi. So yeah, and they're looking for Naruto for the reason of Naruto's got the Nine Tails in him, because Itachi and Kisame are part of a group called the Akatsuki, who are looking for the tailed beast. So for now, unknown reasons. So Kakashi gets brutally injured. Sasuke hears that Itachi's back in the village, and rushes off to and learns that Itachi's after Naruto. Sasuke immediately runs off to try and fight Itachi, and gets utterly destroyed. It was kind of funny, actually. I mean, a meme was born from it. I mean, you lack hatred, Sasuke. But yeah, then okay, so the arc continues. It turns out Jiraiya and Naruto are not the only ones looking for Tsunade. You know what? I just realized I haven't given a mini review for the arcs up till this point. I'll give them right now. Chunin Exams arc, like I said, my favorite arc. It was great. Let's move on. Konoha Crush arc, amazing start, amazing finish. Iffy in between, but still great. Now back to that. Now back to this. So it turns out Orochimaru and Kabuto are also looking for Tsunade because they need, they want Tsunade to heal Orochimaru's arms. So yeah, they managed to find her first, and give her a 10-day time limit for her answer. Then Jiraiya and Naruto find her, and Naruto ends up reminding Tsunade of her little brother Nawaki and her late lover Don, whatever. I can't remember. His name is spelled Dan, but I think it's pronounced Don. I don't know. So, who both also wanted to be the Hokage before they died. And yeah, then a fight breaks out between Orochimaru and Kabuto versus Tsunade. Tsunade, because she has, I think, hemophobia, fear of blood. She ends up losing pretty badly because of that phobia. But Naruto, Jiraiya, and Tsunade's assistant, Shizune, managed to arrive and fight them, and Tsunade manages to break out of her fear and help Jiraiya take basically run off Orochimaru and Kabuto. So okay, and Tsunade agreed to come back to the village and be the new 5th Hokage. So yeah. Then so okay. Now we get to the Sasuke retrieval arc, or the Sasuke recovery arc, I guess. It officially starts at episode 98 because now that Tsunade is back in the village, heals Sasuke, and then we have a bit of thing with Lee, and then Lee needs intensive surgery. But then we get to the first filler arc, which is 6 episodes long. Yeah, 6 episodes long. And, I wouldn't blame you if you want to skip it. But yeah, okay, let's focus on the Search for Tsunade arc. It was a good arc. It was a bit of a it was a bit of a drag to get through in the words of Shikamaru, but yeah, it was a good arc. It was great. So, okay, this fill arc, like, it's not a waste of time, I guess. If anything, it does kind of like help emphasize Sasuke's jealousy of Naruto's progress, and which we'll get into next arc. And yeah, like I said, it's not a great arc. I hesitate to say it's good, but it's not a waste of time. If you really want to see it, you can. Oh, my mistake. The arc's only 5 episodes long, so yeah. Then the Sasuke recovery arc begins with Sasuke's now, like, his jealousy of Naruto is coming in full force, and he wants to fight Naruto. And they do fight, but Kakashi breaks them up and, pretty much berates Sasuke for using Chidori, an assassination technique, on a comrade. But then, soon enough, Sasuke is met by the Sound 4, who are Orochimaru's elite guards. And they offer Sasuke more power, which is exactly what Sasuke wants. So he leaves with them, and so oh yeah, Sakura doesn't stop him whatsoever. All she does is whine. I'll get into the characters later. So yeah, then I'll get into that later. So as his first big mission, Tsunade assigns Shikamaru to gather whatever ninjas he could find to go and retrieve Sasuke. So yeah, okay. So the ninjas he chose were Kiba because of tracking, Neji because I guess also tracking, but also because he's very powerful. Choji because he's Shikamaru's best friend, and Naruto. I believe that's it. Okay, Lee comes in later, but Lee will show up eventually. Then, okay, so basically one by one, like, each of the Sound 4 gets taken out, but at a really heavy cost, like, characters almost die in it. And basically, Shikamaru's in the middle of fighting, Taiya, and, Kiba and Nakimaru are fighting Sakan and Ukon. Lee comes in and fights Kimimaro, who shows up, and he's kind of a mirror to Haku in a way. Remember him? Undying loyalty to Orochimaru and all that. And so Lee's fighting him, and Naruto's chasing after Sasuke, and then it's the return of the Sand siblings, and it was hype. So yeah, then the Sand siblings first deal with those threats pretty handily, except for Gaara, who has a bit of trouble with Kimimaro, but other than that, it goes out fine. Then the first real battle between Naruto and Sasuke begins, and it's quite a fight. It's great. So yeah, but it basically ends up with Naruto being beaten and Sasuke continuing to leave to go to Orochimaru, and so yeah. And the arc pretty much ends with the mission being declared a failure, but at least everyone got back alive. So yeah. Then we get to the first filler arc, and while okay, it's not a bad arc. It's not. It's oh wait, before I get into it, I guess it does kind of transition nicely. Sakura. She was my main complaint about the Sasuke recovery arc. simply because all she did was stand there and yell at Sasuke to not go. Don't leave her, I love you. Look, I saw, like, I remember seeing a reaction video to that episode, and the title of the reaction video was, "She tried her best, guys, come on." I'm just like, no, she didn't. All she did was yell at him. Look, I realize she couldn't beat Sasuke. I get that. I would have just liked to see some character development. If anything, that regressed any character development she could have had. Any character potential she had shown before then. Oh man, it was as Shikamaru would say, it was a drag. So yeah, then. But yeah, like, what I would have preferred her had done is yeah, she can get her yelling done with Sasuke, and then once she realizes Sasuke's dead set on leaving, she would try to fight him. Like, of course, instantly lose. I get that, but if she had, like, shown a bit of determination in fighting him to get him to stay, I would have actually respected Sakura as a character. But now she's just a character. I don't care that she's the main girl of the show. She basically proved to me, oh, this is why people say Sakura is useless. So yeah, then this next arc comes along, and at least this arc addresses. It's called the Land of Rice Fields investigation. So it at least addresses that Sakura feels useless, that she didn't do anything, and I do like it, and I do like that it addresses it, but at the same time, all this arc did was pretty much highlighted Sakura's uselessness instead of having her work on it. But at least at the end of the day, at the end of the arc, she does go to Tsunade and beg to be her apprentice in medical ninjutsu. So at least she's determined to do that. Then we pretty much catch up with the Konoha 12, the Hidden Leaf 12. You'll find me alternating between the Japanese and English sometimes because I watch the dub. So yeah, then we get into the next filler, and oh boy. Okay, so here's the problem with the. Okay, so yeah, it's yeah. Let's get into why. Okay, let's get into the fillers, because from this point on, for the next 67 episodes, there is nothing but filler, except for the last episode, where the last half of it is canon to the manga. From episode 143 to episode 220, to half of 220, the first half of 220, I should say, there is nothing but filler. And yeah, and I can get the frustration behind that. If you want to skip the filler, go right ahead. You're not going to miss anything. But I believe it's a mistake. Because while not every single one of them is a hit, in fact, a lot of them are, in fact, a good amount of them aren't, there are still a few hidden gems in here. So, and I'm here to pretty much go through them. Okay, so pretty much right after, Sakura becomes Tsunade's apprentice, we get into the Mizuki tracking arc, and if you want to skip this one, go right ahead. I'm not going to complain. I'm just bringing it. In fact, I don't even really consider it that good of an arc. I'm just bringing it up because I just want to say, if you really want a follow-up on Mizuki, the villain of the very first episode, here's your chance. You can get the follow-up and see how he ends up. So yeah. Then then we get into the Bikochu search arc, which is one of my, it's like my third favorite arc in the show. So, well, no, not in the show, of the fillers, I should say. Where Naruto, Kiba, Shino, and Hinata, and Akamaru, I forgot about him, go to find a Bikochu beetle in the hopes that the Bikochu could search for could be able to locate Sasuke, which it could. It doesn't end up happening, but it could. But they're attacked by the three Kamizuru clan members, I believe, who are like Stone ninjas and Stone Village ninjas, who also have like, bug abilities. And the main reason I suggest this arc is because it gives a bit of development to Hinata, and even though she does spend half of it as a hostage, she does get her a really good moment to shine, and it's really it's good to see. It's really good to see, and I'm not just saying that because Hinata is best girl. So yeah, then but by the end of it, it's great, and yeah, okay, then we get to the arc following that, the Kunosuke family removal arc, and it's okay. Like, it has Naruto joining up with Neji, Tenten, and Lee to remove the Kunosuke family from this land that they're oppressing, and apparently this family is led by a guy named Raiga, and Raiga is actually one of the 7 swordsmen of the Mist Village, along with he's the third one we met. The first 2 were Zabuza from the Land of Waves arc, and Kisame, the guy who arrived in the Leaf Village with Itachi, with the Akatsuki members. So yeah, but it's an okay arc. Like, you're not gonna be I hesitate to say you're not gonna be missing anything by skipping it, because all of these you aren't gonna be missing anything by skipping it, except for some true gems that are in here. So yeah, then like, it's an okay arc. Like, apparently Raiga becomes canon later, so I suppose it's worth at least watching it. Yeah, it's worth watching. Whether it's good or not, that's up to you. Man, we're closing in on 1 hour. Oh jeez, this is gonna be the longest video I've ever done. This is just gonna prove that I can actually make movie reactions in a single take, isn't it? So yeah, then okay. Then the next arc after that, which is a few episodes later, is I should have gotten a water bottle because my mouth is drying up. Okay, so you know what? Give me a second, guys. I do not care. So I've already spent 55 minutes here. I'm just gonna spot. So, okay. The next arc after that, at episodes 162, is the Cursed Warrior Extermination arc, where Naruto, Neji, and Tenten go and like try to find this cursed warrior and to take him down, but things happen along the way. While it is and I initially dismissed this arc. I didn't react to it, but once I watched it in my own time, I was like, it's actually really good. Great, I wouldn't say, but still good. There's a bit of a mystery aspect to it, and a ghost and all that. It's great. So yeah, then we have the tie for my favorite filler arc. Like, one of them. There are two filler arcs that tie for being my favorite. This is one of them. I call it the Land of the Sea arc, but apparently it's called Kaima Capture arc, or sea monster capture arc. This is the one I mentioned earlier about, Anko. Anko's backstory. Because it's revealed that Orochimaru left when Orochimaru abandoned her after giving her a curse mark. She was found in the land of the sea. So yeah, they're going around there. Anko's remembering some of her backstory, and we meet a character named Isaribi, and it pains me to say that Isaribi isn't brought up again, except apparently in like one line of dialogue in Shippuden. Apparently, Naruto brings her up like once, I believe, to Conan or something like that. It pains me to say that because Isaribi was such a cool character. But yeah, it was a great arc, and basically, yeah, it was Anko leading the team of Naruto, Ino, and Shino, the O's I call them. So yeah, it's a great arc. It's episodes 169 to 173. If you have not seen it, you owe it to yourself to see it. So yeah, then we have episode 175 and 176, which is the Buried Gold Excavation arc. And yeah. Due to Naruto, Shino, and Hinata's previous missions that they failed, yeah, there was one other arc I actually did react to, but I don't think it's worth it. So due to their failed missions, they're given a test, and they do pass it at the end. It's great. So, but, well, if you want a bit of continuity, within filler arcs, like this is definitely the episode, the two episodes to watch. Like, is it good? I don't know, probably not, but I thought it was fun. Then we got episodes 187 to 191, which is the Peddler's Escort. It's where Naruto, Hinata, and Choji escort a caravan to I believe I can't remember. So I want to say it's a land of flowers, but I don't think that's right. So yeah, they have to fight some ninja along the way, and Hinata gets another great moment to shine, and that's really the only thing I came for. So other than that, it's an okay arc, I guess. One episode with the Hinata being able to shine, made the arc completely worth it for me. So yeah, then okay, we're blasting through these arcs. Okay, the next one is the Konoha Plan's recapture arc. This one is great. It's fantastic. It's the one that's tied with the Kaima capture arc for me, even though I think this arc may technically be better. I think I just have a bit of bias for the Kaima capture arc because Anko. And yeah, this is the first arc where pretty much all of the Hidden Leaf 11, Genin and one Chunin because Shikamaru, and have to band together and you have to work together and figure out, like, I can't possibly describe this arc. I can't possibly simplify this into a comprehensible thing. It's episodes 197 to 201. Again, you owe it to yourself to watch it. Like, these arcs aren't even that long. They're at most 6 episodes. Yeah. Yeah, then there's the final filler arc I'll be discussing today, and that's the Sand Village support arc. And yeah, like I said, it's a oh man, we're closing in 1 hour. I gotta wrap this up pretty quickly. So okay, so I only really watched it because I wanted to round out like the final episode with the arc that pretty much includes the canon ending to the original Naruto before Shippuden comes in. Even though, yeah, I guess the canon ending like before the time skip at least. and we skip 3 years into the future. And so yeah, it's a good arc. It's really great. It's a great arc, I'd say. Like in terms of ranking, I'd probably place the Konoha Plans Recapture arc and the Kaime Capture arc at the top, and then the Bikochu Search at there, and then the Sand Village support one. It's great. It really is. Then we get to the final episode where, after the events of the Sand Village support arc, Jiraiya comes back, and because the entire reason these fillers exist is because Jiraiya went off to search for more information on the Akatsuki, and now that he's finally back, he and Naruto are taking a 3-year-long training trip. So yeah, it's finally over. I've talked for over an hour now. Oh my gosh. Oh man. My throat is parched. Oh man, this is gonna be a jerk to upload. It's gonna take so long. I immediately regret this decision of not just separating it and maybe did separate parts. Okay, so I could have just gone through them one episode at a time, like one episode in an arc. I could have gotten done before. Who knows? Alright. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Okay. Overall thoughts. Naruto's this is a great series. I cannot wait to see how Shippuden handles some things. Here's the thing. I know basics. I know basics of what happens. Pretty much, I know true identities of some characters. I know what the Akatsuki are gonna do. I know the ending. It's just another situation altogether when you see... it's like the Kronk meme, oh yeah, it's all coming together. So, yeah, it's another satisfactory thing when you watch it, because then I can be like, oh, that's how it works. Okay, because there's only so much I know. There's only so much I know. There's still stuff that surprises me. I know some characters' deaths, but I don't care. I get to see how it happens. I know the what, I just don't know the how. So, yeah, it's a great series so far. Can't wait to see how Shippuden goes into it. Some people complain about Shippuden. I don't really care. I usually just blindly love things. So, yeah. So far, pretty much the only real complaint I've had about the original series is Sakura, and even that kind of got amended a bit. Sakura at the end of the, Searchers Tsunade arc and, Sasuke recovery arc, but whatever. Yeah, that's really all I have. That's the only complaint I have. Wow. Alright. Well, I guess I didn't like how, they faked out deaths with, Choji and Neji and all those the characters in the Sasuke recovery arc. Yeah, if I had to choose my least favorite canon arc, it's the Sasuke recovery arc, but it's still a great arc. So, yeah, I got nothing to say. I'm just gonna take another sip of my water and end the video here. So yeah, I'll be reacting to Fairy Tail until the... Man, I didn't even talk about the movies. I'm not going to talk about the movies. That's what my reaction videos are for the movies. So yeah, this Saturday I'll be reacting to the third Naruto movie, and until then I'll be reacting to Fairy Tail's final season, and then once I'm done with the third Naruto movie, I'll go right back into Fairy Tail. When I wrap it up, I'll get into Shippuden. And it shouldn't even, I should be done by... I looked at the episode numbers, I was like, oh wow, I could get done with this before 2 weeks are over. So, yeah, I got nothing else to say. I'm just gonna end the video here. So yeah, till next time, guys. See ya.